Honorable members, I want to welcome you to this afternoon sitting. I also want to inform you that I received a letter from the Speaker of Parliament of the East African Legislative Assembly on the 2 vacancies that fell vacant upon the elections of Honorable Kakooza James and Honorable Namara, who were from Uganda, and all of them were NRM. And as you are aware, that Article 51(3)(c) of the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community states that an elected member of the Assembly shall vacate his or her seat in the Assembly upon the happening of any of the following events: upon his or her election or nomination as a member of the National Assembly of the partner states. This therefore has paved the way for us to have a by-election. We have set the by-election for 15th April 2026. And I'm repeating, the vacancies that fell vacant are NRM. And pursuant to Rule 3(1), Appendix C of the Rules of Procedure governing elections of the members of the East African Legislative Assembly, the clerk has already published a notice in the Gazette appointing the dates for nomination of candidates and the by-elections of the members of EALA. The same notice was published in the New Vision on Tuesday, 24th March 2026. The nomination dates for candidates for by-election will be on 30th and 31st March 2026, and that will be from 9 to 5 p.m. So, Government Chief Whip, we expect to receive your list before that day. And the nomination will be in the parliamentary building, the conference hall. And pursuant to Rule 8 of Appendix C of Rules of Procedure of Parliament, which requires us to have a committee, a vetting committee, a verification committee that will verify these members of Parliament, the intending members of Parliament. I want to propose the names that will do the vetting. I have Honorable Rico Herbert, Honorable Javira, Honorable Ojara Mapendusi, Honorable Akelo Lucy, Honorable Suman Basalira, Honorable Katuntu Abudu, Honorable Linda Irene, Honorable Adeke Ebaju, Honorable Najumba Sarah, Honorable Abeja Susan Jolie, Honorable Chon Julius Bua, Honorable Paparu Lilian Obaile, Dr. Yume, Honorable Emily Kugonza, Honorable Nakato Asinasi, Honorable Nambeshe John Baptist, Honorable Naigaga Mariam, Honorable Angura Frederick, Honorable Kankunda Amos, and Honorable Kaberuka James. Those are the 20 members that we proposed for verification.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I don't have any objection to the names, but my concern is that the number needed to be odd so that in a situation where there is voting at least you will have a number that can decide. That is my concern, Right Honourable Speaker.
Rule 8 of the Rule 8 of Appendix C specifies 20 members. 20. Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, I have no problem with the names proposed. My concern was... and
I also want to tell you, the rules do not say I should get the names from the whips. I have been watching, everybody has a side. Everybody has a side. So the ones I've picked do not have sides.
Madam Speaker, that's not my concern. My concern are, I thought this election would have happened after the swearing in of the members of parliament that were part of the EALA. After they are swearing in here, they assume responsibilities here, then their replacement would have started then. I just needed to know why the process came earlier than their swearing in. Right Honourable Speaker.
I want to refer you to Article 51(3)(c) of the treaty, which says, an elected member of the Assembly shall vacate his or her seat in the Assembly upon the happening of the following events: upon his or her election or nomination as the member of Parliament of the National Assembly of the partner state. Nomination. It does not talk about swearing in. So we are only acting because we got a notice from EALA, and we're given a deadline of 15th to present the name.
I want to thank you for the timely information. There's no way we are going to behave like we fear elections. Elections must be conducted, and the law is very, very clear. And once somebody has been gazetted, it is automatic, it's very clear. When they say MP elect, it's for sure that that person has been elected. So there's no more doubt. Let us prepare. For me, I support the team that you have proposed to be the vetting team, so that we are able to go ahead and do the needful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, I'm just seeking a clarification or understanding, maybe from the Attorney General, the legal guru, because they're talking about a vacancy, position will fall vacant on either nomination or it's not a nomination and. What is the meaning of the nomination? Because some have been misinterpreting it different ways. Say, what about those who were nominated, they went into election, but they didn't get elected? So I need just clarification. I think the public needs that clarification, and the candidates, those who are viewing for those positions, can it be clarified what's the meaning of that, the nomination or election? Because it's not nomination and election. Maybe the Attorney General can help us.
Honorable, we have parliaments that have nominated MPs like Kenya. They are not elected. It is just simple logic. Maybe Attorney General.
Members, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, I have listened to your communication with the House. I tend to hold a different view of what an election is, because an election is not an event, it's a process. Like Honourable Member said, a member is a member elect, but you do not become a member of Parliament until you have completed certain activities. For example, we have the 11th Parliament sitting now. We have MPs elect who are not in the 11th Parliament. They cannot be called MPs until they are sworn in. And the term of office in Uganda at least ends on 12th May. But Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, if you will allow me to take time off, that is my understanding of the provision as it is, and you're correct. The provision, Article 51(3), was providing for different methods of accession into office. There are those who do it by nomination, and others do it by election. But election is not an event, it's a process. And you cannot say you have completed the election unless you have completed that process. So I will probably...
So what would you advise the Ugandan parliament not to go through an election and disregard the letter from EALA?
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, if you allow me to study this matter, render a written opinion, confer with the CTC at Arusha, and understand what the issue is from their perspective, then we can render the necessary guidance. Right now, you have a letter that the EALA has given, and I'm sure the Parliament is well within its right to proceed with that, but we shall confer with them and guide them, because we think that there is a misinterpretation of the law in that regard. Thank you.
In the meantime, for the verification team, I put a question that the 20 members whose names I've read be approved as a verification committee for the purpose of EALA by elections. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Honourable Speaker, I think we really are just trying to draw this House to not find ourselves running into a legal brick wall. So I actually do concur with the Attorney General, because our colleagues, the two colleagues who are current members of EALA and have now been elected to the 12th Parliament, are not MPs yet until they do swearing. Because what happens if, for example, God forbid, okay, let me use a lighter one. If, for example, court decides to throw one of them out before they swear in, somebody petitions and the matter is heard summarily, and no, the God forbid was for something worse. So I decided to use a lighter one to say if any of these is thrown out, and so they don't get to swear in, they will not have become members of Parliament. So it's very important that we are careful with the law. These colleagues will become MPs after they have sworn in. But also, Right Honourable Speaker, I have seen a communication by the CTC, the clerk to the community, which is actually disagreeing with the communication of the Speaker of the EALA. The clerk to the community is saying these two members have not yet become members of Parliament of a partner state. Why? Because the swearing in has not happened. So there is quibbling now between the Speaker of EALA, the clerk to the community, and then there is us here proceeding with these matters. So I think we need to just wait it out a little bit and not be in a hurry, so that we are on the right side of the law. Honourable Speaker, the other issue tethered to that as well, you did mention that only colleagues belonging to the NRM can be nominated.
I did not say only colleagues belonging to the NRM will be nominated. I emphasized that the colleagues that lost are NRM. I am an authority in that.
And I don't doubt that you're the Speaker of Parliament.
No, I am saying I am an authority because I took Parliament to court.
No, actually, the ruling is the authority. But, Right Honourable Speaker, here is the issue.
The ruling is the
I do
authority,
agree, you're the one who...
I am the one who took it.
Yes, and the ruling that was given becomes the authority. Here is the thing, though, Right Honourable Speaker. So, you know that the rules were altered. Previously, the opposition had slots. There were 2 slots. So the NRM colleagues would choose their 7, and then the opposition would choose the 2. So the rules were altered. Now what happens is generic voting. So it's very possible for the opposition to actually have no representation at EALA. Or like is the current state to have just one. We are also not too sure whether he is with us or with the colleagues on the NRM side. But that's for another day. The point is, somebody says we'll do a DNA. The point is, he is just one. Previously there were 2. If he had not gotten the threshold of the votes that would enable him fall within the 9, there's a very possible situation that we can have only NRM colleagues representing us at EALA. That's a problem, because now the slots that previously belonged to the opposition were taken away. So if now you have the voting as it happens, and our colleagues say, no, we should send just the NRM people. After all, we have the numbers. So the opposition doesn't get to be left out. I would like to urge this parliament to address that matter too, because it's important. In fact, in the past we were saying only 2, that's too little. But now that was taken away as well. We are all here, and the same way we are all here, it's important that all our voices are represented at the East African Legislative Assembly.
Thank you.
Thank you.